Hey guys, it's Shamsa and welcome back to my channel. Now today's recipe is about mum. My ummi used to make this dish all the time and it's quite frankly the best Aloo Methi Palak recipe out there. Simple ingredients, nothing fancy, not even whole spices, can you believe it? And at the end of it, you're going to be licking your fingers guaranteed. So before I run through the ingredients with you quickly on how to make mum's Aloo Methi Palak with you, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button if you're liking my content and turn on those bell notifications for all things cooking. So let's start. So the ingredients you're going to need is approximately 950 grams of palak. Now palak is mature spinach which you find in the Asian sort of like shops or supermarkets and cash and carries. You're not going to find this in a supermarket like Morrison's or Tesco's because they only do bagged baby spinach packages. By all means you can substitute this with baby spinach, but I will tell you that it won't be the same sort of like flavour at the end once you've cooked the dish. I mean, if you can go off and find palak in any of the Asian shops, do that please, because it makes an impact to the end product. I've washed it and I've cut it and I've washed it numerous times. This was really dirty. It had a lot of dirt and grit in there, so it took at least 6 washes before you know, it was really clean, and I've left it to drain in my colander here. And I've also got here 60 grams which equates to 1 bunch of methi. Now this is fresh methi, which is fenugreek. If you don't know how it looks, it comes bunched up like this in a bunch, and all you do is to cook with it, if you've never used it before, is just remove the leaves only and then just pop them into a bowl like that. Just remove the leaves, discard the stalk and discard any of the flowers there, and wash it thoroughly, and that's your methi done. Again, it comes in your sort of like Asian sort of like shops. You're not going to find this in supermarket stores like Tesco's or Morrison's. I've got here 2 medium onions which weigh approximately 350 grams. I've got here 2 large tomatoes which weigh 250 grams. I've got here 600 grams in weight of potatoes, which were 2 large baking potatoes. I've just peeled them and I've chopped them and cubed them into sort of like decent sized chunks, not too small and not too big. I've also got here 1/3 of a cup of oil, and I've got here fresh garlic cloves. I've got 10 garlic cloves. These weigh approximately 45 grams in weight, and I've got 1 heaped tablespoon of freshly grated ginger, and I have the following spices. I've got 2 teaspoons of salt, coriander powder, and deghi mirch, which is the Kashmiri chilli powder, which is going to add a really nice colour and flavour but not the heat. I've got 1 teaspoon of regular chilli powder and turmeric powder here. I've got 4 bullet chillies, again optional, you don't have to add these in, but I like to add them in. They do add a really nice aroma to the dish, and I've just sliced them halfway up. And again optional, when you're making Aloo Methi Palak you have to have butter in there because it's one of the things that needs butter. And I've got here salted butter. I've just cubed it up. Again, it's optional. If you don't want to add this in, you don't have to, but I will be adding this in. And I've also got 1 cup of boiled kettle water here, which is 250 grams. So let's start cooking. Right, okay guys, I'm going to be using my pressure cooker to cook today. And if you don't have a pressure cooker, don't worry, just use a normal pot. But just remember, cooking times will vary, so the reason why we're going to be using a pressure cooker is because it reduces cooking time and cooks dishes in less than half the time. So I've got it on the heat at the moment. My heat setting was on 9. I've just reduced it down to a 3. And into this, I'm going to go straight in with my cut palak. And then I'm going to add in my 1 mug, which equates to 250 grams of boiled kettle water, straight over like that, just to help the process speed up a little. Turn my hob setting up to a 9 now, which is full power, and I'm going to add my methi in, and trust me, everything will fit in because it will wilt down. And then my onions go in like that. Just press everything down, trust me when I say this. And then the tomatoes and the fresh garlic and ginger as well. Right, okay, so once all the ingredients are in the pressure cooker, time to pop your lid on and lock it, and then turn your dial to number 2, which is the quick pressure cook mode, which is normally for meats, not vegetables, but I like to use it because it cooks it faster. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave the heat setting on 9, which is the highest heat setting, and just allow the pressure to build up in there. And once this little button flicks up, we'll know that the pressure in there is ready and it's cooking away. And we're going to time this and we're going to cook it for 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, I'll show you how it looks. Right, okay, so it's been 15 minutes and I'm just going to remove the lid to show you. Right, so you can see there's a lot of water in there, and what we're going to do now is we're going to cook this down completely. Keep the heat setting on a high heat setting, mine is a 9, and I'm going to add my oil at this stage in like that, along with all the spices. And just keep stirring it, because essentially what we're trying to do is at the same time we're actually bunning this. So we're going to allow the water to dry up so there's no sort of like water left in there. So it's nice and dry, and we're bunning it at the same time, which is going to be cooking it further to enhance the flavour. So do that for approximately 10 to 15 minutes and I'll show you how it looks once it's done. Right, okay guys, coming back to this, it's been 15 minutes I've been cooking stroke bunning this, and you can see that the water has reduced down really nicely. There's a little bit of water left in there, but that is perfectly fine because we are now going to add our potatoes in there, and that will help us cook them further. So straight in with the potatoes now. And my heat setting is currently on a 9, which is the highest heat setting for my hob, and I'm going to cook the potatoes for approximately 6 to 8 minutes, and I'll show you how they look once they're done. Right, okay, so it's been about 8 minutes that the potatoes have been cooking away, and it smells phenomenal. Now at this stage what you want to do is you want to add in your green chillies, and like I said, they're optional, but do add them in. They do add a really nice aroma to the dish. And at this stage, what I want you to do is I want you to actually try the seasoning, the masala in there. I want you to try the spices. So I'm going to use Mum's good old method here and just use my finger on the spoon and just take some masala and just try that. That's spot on, perfect. Now, if you want to add a little bit more salt in there or a chili in there, you can do at this stage. Now, once you've done that, get your lid, and we're going to pop the lid on and just secure it by locking it. And we're going to turn our dial down to 2 again, which is pressure cook mode, and we're also going to turn our heat setting down to a 2, which is the lowest heat setting for me. And now we're going to cook this further just to finish it off for a further 6 to 8 minutes, and the 8 minutes will just allow the potatoes to cook through fully, and I'll show you how it looks in around 8 minutes time. Right, okay guys, coming back to this has been cooking away for 8 minutes, and I'm going to remove the lid to show you how it looks. And look at that, absolutely wonderful. The aroma coming off that is just absolutely fantastic. I'm going to show you how well the potatoes are cooked, so I'm just going to take a potato for you, and then we're going to slice through that, and you can see it's super soft and fully cooked. So I'm just going to add that back into the pressure cooker and just give it one final mix, and that is perfectly ready. And now what we're going to do is we're going to finish the dish off. Now, like I said, this is optional. You don't have to add this in, but if you're making this, you have to do this because it just finishes it off and just elevates it onto the next level. So just throw in a few knobs of cubed salted butter, and that completes the Aloo Methi Palak. And there you have it, guys. My mum's Aloo Methi Palak is all ready. I'm going to plate this up and show you guys exactly how it is. Right guys, my Aloo Methi Palak is all plated up in my little balti dish, looking absolutely wonderful. I'm going to tuck into this now and tell you guys exactly how it is. And I'm just serving mine up with some naan bread here. You can have this with paratha, you can have it with roti, you can have it with rice. It's entirely up to you. But I will also add extra butter on top, because I always say if you want to eat Aloo Methi Palak, you've got to eat it the traditional way with lots of butter on top. So here goes. The moment of truth. Ooh, that butter melt. Potatoes are super soft and oh, just look at that. Absolutely wonderful. That is delicious. Oh my, that is absolutely delicious. The spices are spot on. The methi that we've added in here, the fresh methi, it is just on a different level. Honestly, it's just elevated the dish so much. And there's a difference between the fresh methi and the dried fenugreek leaves that we add. And honestly, if you've used fresh methi, you will know the difference, but it's absolutely delicious. Absolutely wonderful. I think I took a really big mouthful then, but it was worth it. Guys, please try the recipe out. You honestly won't be disappointed. It's absolutely fantastic. Leaving you with this one. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Till next time, take care and happy eating.